Hello friends, welcome to GIPL Software Talk. My name is Arshida Patel and I am working with GIPL as a software developer. Today we are going to discuss about Fluent Validation and provide you detailed information like what is Fluent Validation, what are the features of Fluent Validation, how many built-in validators, how can you create your own custom validator, what is localization and how can you integrate it with ASP.NET Core. But before we start our topic, I would like to give some information about GIPL. GIPL is a government organization. GIPL provide IT and IT enabled services to different government organizations. We provide informative video about government software and latest technology tutorial. So, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the notification of the latest video. Okay, let's get start our talk on Fluent Validation. What is Fluent Validation? Fluent Validation is a small validation library for a .NET that uses the Fluent interface and Lambda expression for building a validation rule for your business objects. You can use Fluent Validation when you want to treat your validation logic as separate from your business logic. Separating a validation helps you clean up your domain code and make it more readable and a single place to look for a validation logic. Fluent validation provides most common usable validation inbuilt. Here are the list of the most common usable built-in validators of the Fluent validator. And also you can create your own custom validator as per your business logic's needs. The next thing is how it can be implemented as ASP.NET. So now we are going to take a look on the name of the package which provides this Fluent validation. The package is the Fluent validation.asp.NET Core. And let's get started to implement in Visual. To implement the Fluent validation in ASP.NET, you need to create a Web API project. You can see here I am already created a project called My Web API. The next step is to give a reference of Fluent validation to your project. You can do it by from the package manager console by typing the following command install package fluent validation.asp.NET Core and you can see it in the references of your project from the year. Now let's assume that you have a model called employee which contains information about the employee for the example first name, last name, email, salary and each field have a different rule for validating according it contains information. So to validate each and every field we have to define a validation rule for a particular object. You will need to create a class that inherits from abstract validator. So I am going to define a set of validation rule for this class by inheriting from abstract validator like this way. The validation rules themselves should be defined in the validation class constructor. So this is the constructor class of the employee validator. To specify a validation rule for a particular property, call the rule for method passing a lambda expression that indicate the property that you wish to validate. For the example, to ensure that the ID property should not null, the validator class should be like this. You can chain a multiple validator together for the same property. For the example, validation email should not be empty and it should be in proper string. Validators can be reused for the complex property. For example, imagine we have a address validator with the employee validator. If we want to ensure that the postal code of the address should not be empty, so we are going to create a full address class and validator of this class and defining a rule for the postal code, and now we can reuse the address validator in the employee validator definition like this way. We can also create a custom method which wrap into extension method that acts upon list T like this way. we have to create a static method using the iRuleBuilder options, passing a key and a string, and returning the rule value. Okay, now we have created enough validation rule for the employee validator. Now we are going to test it using the Postman. First, we need to create a controller for the employee which accepts the employee as the input, and we are going to call validation class by calling model.uvalid, which will be going to you validate this class. So now let's test it into Postman. Here I am already defining the data for the employee in the Postman, and we are going to send it, and it will return a validation rule for the ID and full address. Postcode should not be empty, ID should not be empty, which we have defined in the employee model. Full address, postcode should not be empty, and ID should not be null. Also, you can validate this class manually. You have to just create an object of your validator class and call the validate method of that validator class object. So we are going to create object of employee validator class and calling the validator.validate method and passing the employee data to that model, and it will be validate our model. Let's test it in Postman again. Here I am calling the employee manual validation method, putting the code and send it. It should it is returning that ID must not be empty, that we have pass it 0. Now we pass 1 and again test. It is okay, that no validation required for this. This is the okay data. Now last but not the least, we are going to talk about the localization and fluent validation. What is localization? You can change your validation message in your own language in your local languages. So you have to just define your language name in your startup class, well, global language manager. This is the my name of the language, and we have to define a custom language manager class which inherits the fluent validations language manager class. And I am going to define a message for the not empty validator in my local language like this way, and we are going to test it. So this is the data, it should be file not empty. This is the result. This is the validation message in my local language which I have defined in this class, and this is the default message of the uh, postal code which is I am not defining for my local language, so it gives the global language whatever it is. So that's all. I hope this all information is usable for your project and applications.